Okie dokie, guys. So we're doing something a little bit different today. We're gonna build. I keep calling it the cube. I don't think it's gonna stay called the cube. I gotta come up with a cool name for it. But we're building basically like a contemporary kind of interesting rectangle. It's a cool little house. So I was browsing Instagram, as one does, and I wasn't like specifically like I'm gonna find something to build. But there's a lot of cool like house postings and architecture stuff on Instagram, and I came across this one that is literally just like a rectangle. It was a render and a floor plan, and it's all one space. It's basically this little studio with a bathroom, and I thought it was so cool. So I decided to try to build it in Sims. It turns out bigger in The Sims. As you can see, I'm kind of messing with the floor plan now. I think than the render kind of shows, and we kind of went off script a little bit in the end. Simply, because of spacing and like the way Sims works. Like I can't fit a whole kitchen into like like a 2x4 space or something like that. So it has to be a little bit bigger. But I think it turned out super cool. Full credit where credit is due. Oh, I gotta unlock my phone. Half a second. It is from an Instagram page called I think it's Idea Herb. I will link them. They are a product service page, but it looks like it's all one person. If it's not, I will try to find the right person. But I originally found it on a different page and then linked back here, and the posting for it doesn't link anywhere else. But it's really cool. It's really interesting. We went a little off script, like I said, because we went with the TV for the fun skill, and in this little corner off to the left-hand side, this little hallway, I ended up turning that into an office space. There's a window there in the original plan, and the bathroom is huge compared to the bathroom in the floor plan, but in order to make the rest of it work, the bathroom just ended up huge. And the bathroom actually ended up okay anyway, because they have, like, it looks like a shower tub combo in the floor plan, and, like, that's great. But nothing against The Sims, but the shower tub combos in this game are like a little rough. So we ended up not doing that. It's a very luxurious bathroom, but again, like maybe it's fine because if your whole space isn't like it's a studio, there's no like delineation. So if your whole space is one room, maybe having a giant bathroom is super nice. I don't know. I love this kitchen so much. This might be my favorite kitchen I've ever done. It takes a while to get there, and I actually cut out so much of it because I was struggling with cabinets, to be honest with you, uppers and lowers, and I feel like I use the island living counters so much, but I do love them. I love the waterfall. I like the colors, and then I got to use the cool kitchen stuff, which I was gonna say I almost never use. I don't think I ever used them in these colors. I don't think I even fully grasped that there was these cool colors because like the fridge is red and the stove is a nice navy. So that was really fun because it's such a small space. We got to go kind of wild with the colors. I really like it. Like I could see myself like for reals cooking in this kitchen, and this kitchen has the distinction of being the only one where my younger brother walked in and was like, "That's kind of cool," and I was like, "Yeah, it is." So yeah, I really like this kitchen. This wall changes multiple times, and then I set it with a plant, and then that plant doesn't stay, so don't get too attached to the plant. I now off the top of my head can't remember what goes. Oh, a plant, but a different plant. A different plant ends up going there. So don't get too attached to the second wall. Yeah, that's gonna stay for a while, and then I'm gonna change it. And then the walls are gonna change several times. In the render, it looks like the whole inside is wood, which is I do get there in the end. But originally I was super against wrapping the walls in wood because I was like, it's gonna be so dark, and like I live in a house that has 70s wood paneling, and I'm like kind of like blatantly like violently against wood paneling a lot of time. I like shiplap. I like Joanna Gaines white shiplap, but even then I'm like not everywhere. It gets to looking a lot like a barn. But anyways, I digress. It ends up looking pretty cool in this house, I think. So there's a decent amount. There's actually a lot of wood in this house, but I think it looks pretty cool. I keep calling the aesthetic IKEA. I think maybe the like official term for it is like contemporary. I don't know. I keep calling it the IKEA house though, because it does. It reminds me kind of like the IKEA showroom, like when they do those little like living room, kitchen showcases. So, and I really do enjoy IKEA. So that was kind of the inspiration. And then those lights are the whole reason we have green. Originally, I was like, I could stick with primary colors. That'd be really cool. But I didn't like. I liked the yellow and brown, but it didn't quite go the way I wanted it to. So I went with the green, which ended up being good because I introduced green in a couple other places and a couple different colors. I introduced some coppers, which I think kind of go with the cabinets a little bit, and I ended up going with black uppers, which I thought was going to look too dark and too industrial, but the rest of the house ends up being so warm. In the long run, it takes a while to get there, but the rest of the house ends up being so warm and cozy that I think that the black uppers look okay. You're gonna see some weird angles in this build too, because I asked family members for help a lot on this one. I'd come in and be like, what bed do you want? Like this right now, I'm literally, like when I was building this, I was talking to someone. I was like, which bed? Because I like the frame, but I'll be honest, the bedspreads were a little rough. This one ends up working okay in the end, but I wasn't in love with it to start. I would love so much if it an update. I don't think it could be an update. Maybe I'll have to, I'm sure there's a mod that does this. I would love to have the bedspreads separate from the bed frames, because it'd be really cool to have like the bed frames. Well, I see it'd even be cool to have like a separate mattress thing, because it would be nice if the quality of the sleep your Sims got didn't relate to how cool the bed is, because some of the like really comfortable beds are kind of like very stylized. Like this one's really cool, but I don't think it sleeps. I'll have to look. I don't think it has a huge comfort rating on it. Anyways, that's a little bit of a digression there, but I think it would be really cool if those things were separate, so that you could decorate how you liked and your sim wouldn't be awfully miserable the whole time. And so yeah, that was the cut. I ended up leaving this for a couple of days and coming back to it, not by choice, just because it's been crazy busy. And I live in the US, so like with everything going on right now, it's just like I don't really feel like building, but all is well now. So I came back to it, and this is where I started wrapping in the wood, and it really does warm it up. It changes the whole vibe, which is really nice. I was trying to figure out what to do with that space, because I couldn't really. I do a little bit here, but I couldn't really move everything over too far because of the doors. I didn't want to block the doors, and everything does work. Side note, I did player test it, but I didn't want everything to be like super tight and in front of the doors and have them just like not go into the house. So that took a little while to figure out there, and that doesn't change. And the rugs took forever. I don't know. I'm like partial to the rugs. The rugs could be better in this house, but I think it's okay. The kitchen mats I think is really cute. Kitchen mats, there's just one. The kitchen mat is really cute, and I don't think the ones in the bathroom are too bad. But these in here, they're not bad. They're just not. I just wish there was something else. I don't honestly even know what I was looking for. I was just like, none of this is right, but I couldn't tell you what's not right about them. So that's okay. It is what it is. I feel like that's kind of real life too. You're like, I have this vision. I was trying to stack rugs here too, and I was like, hey, that's kind of cute. And God bless my brother. He was heavily involved in this build, apparently, now that I'm talking about it. He walks in and he goes, I don't get it. It's a tripping hazard. And then all I could see was, yeah, it is a tripping hazard. So, but there's where I introduced some of the copper and the lights and stuff. Oh, side note, you're going to see it. It doesn't happen till the end. And this plant reminds me, though, because I sized down the table and then nothing worked, which is fine. I sized it back up. Anyways, there is a plant and there is a basket on the bookshelf when that finally happens towards the end of the video. They are floating. I did not notice this until I was taking screenshots. It is fixed now, and it will be fixed when and if the gallery ever lets me post things. I think I'm just going to have to take my laptop into town, to be honest, because the internet out here is just not, it's not going to do it. But yeah, I did fix those, because I saw those and I was like, I am not going to go retake all of the screenshots. I had shut the game down already and everything. I was like, I'm not going to go retake those, but they're floating, and it drives me nuts, but they do get fixed. Anyways, and then this, I don't remember where I saw this. I think I saw it in a YouTube video, might have seen it on Instagram, might have seen it on Reddit. Anyways, I always forget about the cutting boards, and they're so cute, and they look so cute lined up there, and I liked it a lot. So I stole that from somebody. I don't remember who. Whoever did it first, credit where credit is due. Yeah, here I was still fussing with the wall, because I just didn't like how it looked. I thought maybe I could like frame, make like a lattice or something, which I do elsewhere in the house, and it looks better also. Yeah, here's where we trade these. This looks so much better. This is so much cleaner and closer to what the rest of the kitchen looks like. I love the kitchen. I just want to hang out in the kitchen. I want to play this house, which I kind of want to play every house, honestly, that I build, like, because I'm always building for a family, and then I'm excited. This house didn't actually, like, I had an idea of, like, the kind of sim I wanted here. I knew I just wanted a single person, but I didn't really have, like, a lot of knowledge on what I wanted the sim to be like who lives here. It ended up being a single gal in the military career, but with writer aspirations. So I think that's really cool. Writer aspirations or painter? No, I think she's a writer. I did this story to help me the make a sim story cast thing. I hadn't really used that a lot. It's a cool feature. Like, I like the idea of it, but usually by the time I'm making sims, because it's not like my most favorite thing, I end up like already having an idea, so I go on and set their traits how I want them and stuff. But that does lead to a lot of sameness in my sim, so I was like, I'm gonna let the story decide, and it ended up being different than I had anticipated. It is the second writer in like a very short period of time that I have created, which is neither here nor there. I do think it makes sense in this house with like the laptop and everything, because like painting takes up more space, and I feel like then you have stuff to display unless you sell it. Whereas writing, you just kind of ship it off, and I think it makes sense here. But yeah, she's also in the military career, which is one I don't think I've ever played with. I'm trying to think, did that come off Strangerville? If it came off Strangerville, I played it for Strangerville, and I think that was it. If it's not that one, then I don't think I've ever played the military career, so that'll be interesting to play. Bathroom took me a while to get laid out. It stays, no, it doesn't stay like this because the tub goes to the other side, and it took a while to decide on kind of the vibe in here because I wanted it to be as cozy. Like, here's the deal, I did the kitchen first, and I fell in love with the kitchen, and everything else had to live up to the kitchen. I don't think the bathroom does. I like it a lot. It does not live up to the kitchen. The kitchen is fabulous. The kitchen is my favorite thing. So, but it is a cool bathroom, and like I said, it's big, but in this situation, like, you could put laundry in here. I have the tub and the shower separate, but you could put the tub and the shower together and then put laundry in here, and then it would be more functional. It would make more sense maybe for being that big. Or maybe split it up, like, so the toilet is in a separate room, or the shower is in a separate room. Like, maybe if you have a couple, it might make sense to split this bathroom a little bit. I don't know how you would split it to make it maybe like a powder and a master or something. It's got the space for it, but I don't know where you put the door to make that work. But we could think on that. Like, you could do a couple things with this bathroom. I just liked the idea that it was maybe just big and grand, and was like, I didn't want to deal with it anymore, to be honest. And it would have, like, to make it smaller, would have taken away the ability to have the office there, at least in a way that wasn't super cramped. And I liked the little office alcove space, because the original plans that we were following, this is the thing, this is the lattice I made. It's cute, and it doesn't clip nearly, there's like one angle in which it clips a little bit, but otherwise it's fine, and it's really cute. It only sometimes shows up in the mirror though, so yeah, so you can kind of see it's not showing up in the mirror. I don't really know. There it is. I don't know why that is. The door also doesn't always show up in the mirror, and I'm not really sure what's causing that, but you know, it's okay, whatever. What was I saying? Oh, we deviated from the floor plan quite a bit, I think is what I was saying, because obviously in the Sims, things are different, and this was a really good sort of example of how scale is so different in the Sims, because they had like almost no space dedicated to like the living and sleeping area. They smushed it right together, and that totally works when you're an actual facts human who can like pathfind really well. Sims pathfind exceptionally well for video game characters. Let's put it that way. They do pretty good for video game characters, but they don't path as well as humans. So obviously they get stuck really easy, and so we have to make things wider. Definitely place this house with move objects on. If you don't, I think probably everything in the house will disappear. Let's be honest. I don't think anything is on the grid except maybe the kitchen. The kitchen would stay. Everything else has been like slightly wiggled, but maybe the desk would stay. But a lot of things got like sized down and wiggled to just make them look good. I know that rug is crooked for the actual sink itself, but here's the deal. I couldn't get past the point in real life, like, that rug would stop the door from opening, would annoy me to no end. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'll have to look. That door might, it doesn't matter in The Sims, but might, like, in real life open the wrong way and be really stupid for, like, standing at the sink stuff. I don't know. Anyways, let's see. I think, yeah, we're gonna move to the outside now. The only other thing, too, that is getting fixed before it gets posted is the image above the bed. It's gonna get lower just a little bit. It didn't bother me before, but, like, the more I've stared at this build, it's too high. It's too high above the bed. It's not set right. So we're gonna fix that. So, and per usual, I'm gonna do all this landscaping, and it's gonna be pretty cool. And then I'm gonna have to go through and manually move all my bushes because they're all clipping into the house, and I didn't think about it. And this, we're gonna go. I think it would be so fun. I keep saying we're gonna go back and change. I don't know if we're gonna go back and change this, but we have platforms as of yesterday. But I got it downloaded this morning. As of today, we have platforms. I'm so excited. So this roof could be pretty cool. I think we could do like a double level thing, which we could have with the half walls, but it could be really cool. So that would be really fun to go back and do. We could even do like, well, I don't know if I was gonna say we could even sync like the living and sleeping area in this house, but I don't know. That might make it too cluttered, and then we'd have to move the bookshelf. I take it back. Anyways, but we could lift the house up like one off the porch. That would be cool. Anyways, yeah. So I stuck these out and I started to do a table, and then I walked away again. I had to go do other things, and I ended up moving it because first of all, you have to walk up on the deck to go to the front door because the house is sideways on the lot. Just because the lot I picked was long and skinny, and the house was long and skinny, but in the wrong way. So you do kind of walk up to the side of the house, which is annoying, but it is what it is. It doesn't matter that much, but you walk up on the deck. So I do end up moving those chairs, and I was gonna put a bunch of stuff up on the deck, and then I kind of got to thinking about it and looking at the render, and I don't think it's what was intended because they have a window off where we're putting stuff right now, and they have all those windows on the other side, and they don't have a deck, but the deck almost looks like on this big wall of windows, like maybe it was meant to flip up for like storm protection or something. I don't know, that seemed kind of weird, but I know there's some like tiny houses do it, especially for like travel and stuff, so they don't pick up gravel off the road. And I was like, I wonder if that was the intention, because in the render it kind of looks like it's maybe not sitting on the ground completely. But then I thought that got a little too real, because I was sitting there going, well, maybe I should pick the other chairs because they would be easier to fold up in a storm. And then I briefly was like, oh, we should move this to Solani. That would be really pretty. Not gonna lie, I'm still debating that because I built it in New Crest because it didn't really fit in any of the other worlds exceptionally well. And then sorry, that was like 3 different thoughts. Like in Solani, it doesn't matter if there's that many windows, like, because you can watch the storms coming in and the water. I was thinking putting it up near the top of the volcano. Like, then it doesn't matter how it looks, because the whole point of the house is just, like, I bet it would blend pretty good. We could even maybe paint it more of, like, to match, like, the ground and the surroundings around it and make it, like, more eco-friendly, I guess. We could even probably take it off the grid, although you'd have to change all the appliances. I take that back. I don't want to take it off the grid. Anyways, point being, it would be cool in Solani, and I almost moved it. I decided against it for now, but for actual playing, I might move it to Solani, because it would be really cool, and the view would be amazing. So that would be, I remember like 2-3 videos I talked about how I'm not usually jealous of my Sims. If I had this house on the top of a hill where I could walk down to the water in a tropical island, I would be jealous of my Sims. Like, I fully admit that would be cool. But yeah, so that's why I changed out like the chairs and stuff originally, is because I was like, well, in the event of some sort of storm, she would have to bring all this in and then fold the deck up, which she'd have to bring it in a storm even if the deck didn't fold up. That was the thought process. That was such a bird walk. I apologize. But that was like the thought process behind it. And then I saw her decorating like this, and I was like, she would have to have some serious advance warning on a storm. She'd have to haul all this in, and then where would she store it? I like to think in this house there's probably like a crawl space, like a little shrunken cellar, or maybe in real life there'd be a little bit of like kind of like a pseudo attic where she could just stick stuff. Yeah, here's the floor plan for you to see full screen. It kind of goes fast, and there's the full screen render. I think we got close. It's obviously much smaller in the render, but we got close. I think ours is definitely more decorated. It's definitely more homey. But I think it turned out pretty good. Yeah, there's our Sim. Her name is something Tidwell. What is her name? Oh my goodness. Oh well, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think she's gonna be really happy here. See, the floating plant and the floating basket, those get fixed. So I think that fixed. Now I'm self-conscious about it. I'm gonna have to go check and make sure I didn't float them in some new and exciting different way. But they didn't get fixed. But look at that kitchen. Oh my goodness, I love that kitchen. I want to cook in that kitchen. Does that not look like a kitchen that would be so fun to just be in? I don't know. I like it. And I like this area too. I could see writing stories here. And then I did the postcards, but in actual gameplay, you could collect those. So, and then this bathroom. I like the mats in the bathroom. And that's a weird thing to like, and then it does have a wood wall in there to break up all the white. But it's a fairly modern bathroom. And then there's the layout. It is tiny, but it would work perfectly for one Sim. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having an awesome day wherever you are in the world, and I'll talk to you soon.